eyes felt no emotion. They did not hesitate. Now, all unstoppable agony.
When I'm ready, but not before. Life is short, deal with it.
This will be a blazing battle. Grasp your mortality tightly.
To a crucible that stretches the sanity of the mind.
You must win this one for me, my champion.
Foolish maiden, hunter feed me her champion. Melt. Hunger. Feast. Mash. Slaughter. Crush. Hunger.
Please, until the others are off the themselves. The prize piece comes to join
My collection.
Stand still!
Pain will be returned tenfold. Space aligns. Behold my collection.
It will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. A cascade of pain.
inescapable.
Arrogant toy. Stand still. Take this. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. Take this. Stand still.
When I'm ready and not before. I need more mana.
A cascade of pain. Stand still.
I require aid! The living toy must enjoy our contests, for it continues to play.
Greetings everyone, this is Redora and I wanted to do an update video on my Fire Trap Elementalist. Gonna be kind of a shorter one just because I don't have quite as much I need to talk about for the build itself. Let's just get into it right away actually. So for gear, everything is pretty much exactly the same as the previous video that I made that was like this. The only things I have to really mention are a couple old quality gems, which is Divergent Malevolence right here for a little bit of extra damage with Ignite, which is kind of nice. And I also got Divergent Frostblink, and this was huge to have on boss fights. I feel like this was a really big help with the Uber attempts because the extra cooldown reduction that you get from the quality on the Divergent version is pretty big actually. It helps you a lot with being able to stay mobile while doing damage pretty comfortably. And yeah, I even got level 21 on it, which was not necessary at all, but I just slammed the Vault Orb to see what would happen, and yeah, I got lucky with that one. But yeah, this was really great to pick up. I did a bunch of, unusual gem blueprints a few days before doing the Uber attempts, and yeah, I was able to get both of these old qualities, which was really, really good to just get a little bit more out of the build. Also, quick side note that the anomalous version of Frostblink is also really nice to if you can get your hands on it because of the increased AoE that it has on the quality for it. Because for regular Frostblink, it's not really that useful. I think it's like chill effect duration or something like that. And yeah, kind of redundant since I already have Skitterbots applying chill to the enemies, so that's of no use to me. Okay, so yeah, for gear, that's pretty much it. Now for passives, things have changed quite a bit here. On the right side and in the center, I took out a lot of points, including this Ignite dealing damage fire wheel that I talked about in the previous video. And I did that so that I could make room for this Clusters Jewel setup that I put together. This is the first time that I really messed with Cluster Jewels. Never really used them before, but I was kind of thinking of ways that I could try to push my build's power up some more. And yeah, this is kind of what I landed on. I started farming Delirium to get a fire large cluster, and I was pretty lucky to get 2 burning damage medium clusters relatively quickly. And yeah, this was a really nice damage increase, probably about like 400k or so. I don't really remember exactly how much it was increased by, but yeah, it was definitely noticeable. And yeah, I'm really happy that I got to get this working. One thing that I say relatively often is that every character that I make is a learning experience in some way or another. Whether it's trying a new playstyle or a new mechanic or using items that I've never used before. And yeah, this is pretty much a perfect example of that. Never really used clusters before, So I had to really like sit down and think about how to get this set up, because it's a pretty big commitment of resources to, you know, roll the jewels, farm them, and also like, you know, allocating the passive points too, not to mention, without like compromising the rest of your build. You do kind of have to plan it out and like plug it into POB to see if it works out to be better. You don't really want to just go willy-nilly with cluster jewels and have it be worse, or again, have part of your build be missing. But yeah, I kind of had just enough points to get this to work, and it also really helped being level 98 for that on my character. So yeah, happy that that was able to work out. I think that's it for the passives, so let's just get into the next thing that I want to talk about, which is what's next for me in Path of Exile. So I have a Pathfinder that I've been working on, you know, simultaneously with this Fire Trap Elementalist, and as you can probably tell from the name, it's like pretty obvious. It's supposed to be an Impending Doom Pathfinder, and what prompted me to make this character was I got Vixen's Entrapment very early on into this fresh solo self-found run on the Elementalist, and that got me really excited because Impending Doom is a build I've wanted to try for quite some time. It looks really cool, it's very powerful, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to give it a go. I was very naive to think that, you know, just getting Vixen's Entrapment is like the only thing you needed to really like put the build together, because that is absolutely not the case. I found out very quickly as I was trying to like, you know, get the curse setup working and whatnot, that there's a lot that goes into Impending Doom. It has a lot of moving parts to it, and you know, it's really easy for the build to not feel right, or like, you know, maybe your defenses will be off, and also you need like cast speed and cooldown reduction and like, you know, poison chance from Divergent Herald of Agony. There's a lot, you know, it just goes on, and I was getting really annoyed by the build. Well, it's not really so much by the build itself, but it's just like I was kind of losing motivation to like keep putting time and resources to like get it to work the way that I would like it to. And I did get the build to the point where it could clear like reasonably well on maps and also on some league mechanics, but you know, like I said, the defenses were kind of janky, and also the single target on, you know, the way I had my character built was just absolutely terrible. It was complete dog shit, like unironically Z DPS, and it just like wasn't feeling right. You know, things just weren't turning out the way I had hoped. So I kind of ultimately decided to abandon trying to get Impending Doom to work, sad as it is. You know, I gave it a try. It's something I wanted to do. But yeah, I'm thinking of ways to redeem my Pathfinder and finding other things that I could do with the character, and have some ideas of stuff that I want to try out instead. So if I land on something that turns out to be successful, there will be an update video on that. And then for the Fire Trap Elementalist, so initially I was thinking that, you know, this would be kind of where I stopped playing on this character, because I didn't really have, you know, a lot more work that I wanted to put into the gear. I mean, there's obviously things that I could do to, you know, push the gear even more, but I just didn't really, you know, I kind of thought in my head like, okay, this is where the conclusion is going to be for the Fire Trapper. But I actually do have an idea of something else that I want to try with this Elementalist, and that's going to involve changing the build completely. So I got to farm up a lot of Orbs of Regret, among other things, but I think it'll turn out pretty well, and I think I'll be able to make something that's kind of powerful, or at least I hope so. We'll see. I have a good feeling about it, but yeah, if it turns out to be good, I'll have another video for that as well. Yeah, that pretty much covers all I need to say. Thank you very much if you've been watching this. If you liked my videos or like my other content, please consider subscribing or checking me out on Twitch to support me. I would really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who's been giving me support thus far. It means a lot to me as a small YouTuber and streamer. Yeah, so thank you very much and have a good one.